Dust off your crystal balls, team. We are going to peek into the not-so-distant future. Hello and welcome to another massive edition of Fox Sports Lab NBA. I'm your host, Ben Dixon, and with me, as always, the NBA experts James Clement and Jack Heverin. And we'll also be joined by NBA All-Star Carlos Boozer. Jack and James, great to have you on the show.
Good to be with you, Dicko. Good time of year again. I know we said it last week, but there's a lot happening.
Thanks, Dicko. Cannot wait. This is the best part of the year for me. I'm more stoked than my old man's campfire.
Wouldn't be a show without a zinger off the top with James. Coming up, though, our title predictions with less than 30 days of the regular season to go. The latest on the MVP race and the big calls on all the big games. There's nowhere left to hide. It's T-minus 30 days until the end of the regular season. Welcome, our man, Carlos Boozer. It's great to have you back on the show, Carlos.
Great to be back, guys. How you been?
We've been okay. We're even better for having you on the show. So I'm getting straight to the point. Who wins this thing? I want to know who wins in the East, Carlos.
Yeah, I think it comes down to two teams. I think two teams have been dominant in the Eastern Conference. That's the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. Both teams are loaded, especially when they're fully healthy and they got everybody at their disposal, so to speak. Obviously, on one side, Giannis Antetokounmpo has a championship, has been very dominant. You saw last year with the lack of Middleton, they lost to the Boston Celtics because they weren't completely healthy. I think they've done a good job of trying to manage their injuries so that they're all healthy at the right time, which is right now. Boston has been particularly healthy most of the season. They've been dominant all year long. I think those are the two favorites to come out. I got Milwaukee if they're healthy, if they're missing one of the big three, that being Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jrue Holiday, and Chris Middleton. If one of those three guys is hurt, I got Boston if they're healthy.
James, you make some good points. You agree?
I got it. Milwaukee are awesome. They're 21-2 in their last 23, Dicko. You can't go past that. That's 21-23. They're absolutely unreal. Health is obviously the key aspect here in the East. But look, you can't trust the Philadelphia 76ers as far as you can throw them. They're very large. It's not going to be very far. And Boston, meanwhile, seriously, they're 26-17 after they started 21-5. Like, they've fallen off. There's questions everywhere for Boston at the moment. You're going to go with Milwaukee, Jack.
I'm the same, and I know we want a bit of difference on the show, but I don't think you can go past Milwaukee. 76ers are building. I know you're not super confident on them right now. They are building at the right time of year, but I'm with everyone else. The Bucks for me.
All right, Carlos, who wins in the West?
Great question. I think, to me, it all lands on the health of Kevin Durant. We all saw him bust his ankle the other day in warm-ups. They haven't really got a chance to really gel, but these guys are veterans. Obviously, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant. KD has been there on multiple teams, obviously winning a couple championships in Golden State. And Chris Paul's been close. Never to the mountaintop, never got the championship done. But I like the Phoenix Suns if they're completely healthy. Taking no disrespect away from the Denver Nuggets, who've been great all season, and some other teams that are climbing up. You see the Sacramento Kings kind of creeping in there. John Morant has little stuff looming over his availability come playoff time. But for the Grizzlies, but for me, if Kevin Durant is healthy for the Phoenix Suns, that team is built for the playoffs. Chris Paul's a great quarterback. They got another elite scorer in Devin Booker on the other wing. If KD can get down on his side, and then you still got Ayton in the middle to rebound, block shots, be a presence. I like that team come playoff time.
Jack?
I'm watching the Warriors right now with a lot of interest to see what happens. So I think keep your eye on them. I think they're coming at the right time.
Look, I want to say Denver, but I can't trust them either. Look, with their little sort of dip at the moment, their defense has just fallen off a cliff. I got to go with Carlos. I love Phoenix. I love that upside. I love Kevin Durant, CP3 in the actual, in the clutch. Try and stop him. Give me Phoenix.
All right, then. Who wins the championship, Carlos?
Woo! Milwaukee versus Phoenix. That'd be a good one. I'm going to have to get my popcorn ready for that one. I'm watching every single game if that's what it comes to. I'm going to say Milwaukee because I love their defense. I think their defense is top-notch when they're completely healthy. They do a great job. I think Brook Lopez is an underrated rim protector. Does a good job of blocking shots. Oh, and by the way, he also knocks down the three ball. It would be very difficult guard for DeAndre Ayton up there. But for me, if the Phoenix Suns meet up with the Milwaukee Bucks in the finals, I got the Milwaukee Bucks. It may take them 7 games to get it done, though, because obviously that offense is very potent. But I think their defense can travel to Phoenix and get a game out there in the desert, so I would go with the Milwaukee Bucks.
You with the Bucks, Jack?
Likewise, I think their defense will win the championship.
100%. Got to agree with that. They're first in defensive rating, seventh in offense. They're rolling.
All right, that's it from our team and their predictions. They've all been noted, boys, and we'll see who comes out on top.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
Nikola Jokic is on the cusp of joining three of the sport's all-time greats in the MVP race, but is he over the line just yet? Will he become only the fourth player to win 3 consecutive MVPs? James, what are we thinking?
I'm loving this at the moment. The Joker. What's he doing, Jack? He's out there just averaging a triple-double as a centre. It's ridiculous. The tricky part is you've got Joel Embiid coming up right behind him. And in terms of like favouritism, Embiid just keeps bringing that gap down and down and down and down. But it's really hard to go against the Joker when he's been so dominant all season. My way of framing this is he's probably the most important player to his team in this entire league at the moment. Joel Embiid might be the most dominant. There's a third name out there too, I'm just saying. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He might be the best player in the NBA. So look, Joker's probably got it though.
Carlos, what about you? What are you thinking as far as this race goes? Is the gap tightening?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, the Joker's been terrific all season. I think he's one of the most dynamic players we've ever seen in the NBA from a center position to be able to give you 25, 26 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, 10 plus assists. Just a rare player that you probably won't see for years to come. And I feel the same way about Giannis. I think Giannis is so dominant. I think we take him for granted. I know there's other guys, like even Luka. You take Luka Doncic off that Dallas Mavericks team, they're not going to be in the playoffs, right? So there's certain guys who are extremely important to their team. Probably none more than the Joker. But I do love what Giannis is doing. I think Embiid needs a lot of credit as well. I'm going to go with Giannis because I think he's the most dominant player in the NBA right now. He brings it every single night. His team will also be playing for another championship. I just don't think Denver's going to get there. At some point, we got to start putting that championship banner next to Joker's name. I don't think he gets there this year. I think Giannis, if this team is healthy, gets back to the finals with a chance to win the championship again.
Well, there you have it. It is not just a race in two, but right now, Nikola is the hot favourite. How can you resist this matchup? Because one of the biggest names in the game, Nikola Jokic, on one of the biggest stages of all time, MSG, Madison Square Garden. James, take us through the Nuggets and the Knicks.
Not only is he a big name and on a big stage, he's a big man. He's Nikola Jokic. I absolutely love him. I mean, he's basically on track to be, the first non-guard to ever average a triple-double, which is absolutely insane. Let's just make a point of this. He's a centre, big Nikola, and he's averaging a triple-double. It's absolute chaos. He's got his Denver Nuggets at number 1 in the West. The tricky part about this matchup is, like we've seen over the last couple of weeks, the Knicks have really hit a nice purple patch of form. They've looked really, really tough. They've been amazing on defense. The flip side is Denver have looked like an absolute garbage fire.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened there. Well, actually, I kind of do. It's their defense. They stink on D. You've got Joker. He's the absolute fulcrum of what they do on offense. He can do everything. He is their system. But Jam and Jamal Murray, love Jam and Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. Jamal, look, he's sort of worked his way back from an injury, and it seems like he's hit a bit of a wall in that sort of rehab process. He was playing absolute lights out about a month ago. Last 2-3 weeks, it's sort of dropped off. Thing is, it's a great setup because his Knicks team, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, they're going to be all over this. They're going to make them fight, but Denver just pulled this out. This is one of those turning points for a team like Denver where it's like, right, we're going to make a big, deep playoff run. We need to get a big win in a big spot, and this is where it'll come. So give me a massive Joker game. For an same game multi for this
please.
one. 25 plus points for Joker, 14 plus rebounds. He's just going to be snagging him over the top of the other Mitch Robinson. 10 assists. I think we've got a Jam and Jamal Murray bounce back spot. 20 plus points for him. Julius Randle, 20 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, and a Nuggets win. It's pretty epic, but I kind of like it.
Denver has said that they're in chill mode. It's time to get out of chill mode, Nuggets. There you have it. The stage is set for a cracking game. The run home has entered the final straight, and we want to take a look at the bottom end of the playoff contenders. James, where do we look for the play-in as far as the West is concerned? Because right now, it's a mess.
Where do we look, Jack? You can look up and down the standings because everybody's still basically in with a shot. Seriously, we've got no games essentially separating 7 through 12 in the West, which is absolute chaos at the moment. And even those top 6 teams, there's still movement there. But for the play-in, you've got the Wolves, you've got the Mavs, you've got the Lakers, you've got the Pelicans, the Thunder, and the Jazz, all with a shot basically to still make this play-in. It is absolutely nuts. I think the Wolves have got enough talent to sort of get them over the line, get through this play-in tournament. I'll tell you the one big loser here, though. The Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah. There's
no defense. You're going to have to outscore these teams if you're Dallas. I can't quite see them doing with the lack of defense that they've got. The sneaky one there, I think, is the Lakers get in number 8. I've been down on the Lakers all season, but without LeBron, they've kept their heads just above water, and I think we'll see the Wolves and the Lakers sneak into those 7 and 8 spots.
Very, very interesting. It's exactly what the NBA wanted with the play-in series. What about in the East, though? Roadkill's a term that I think you might have used, but any of these teams going to do anything as far as the play-in goes?
Not against those top 2 seeds there in the East, because I'll tell you what, Milwaukee and Boston at the moment are absolute behemoths. Even though Boston has sort of dropped off lately, it's a bit tricky. They should still make very, very short work of someone like, whether it's the Hawks. The Raptors might put up a pretty good fight, which I can imagine. But tell me what, I want to see the Heat play the Celtics. That would be awesome. A repeat of last year's Eastern Conference Finals. That would be a bloodbath. The Raptors, that's going to be a tricky out as well. But the Heat and the Hawks, it basically comes down to the Hawks and the Raptors. Who can get that 8 spot? I'd have to go with the Raptors. I trust them a little bit more.
Watch this space as far as the play-in's concerned. And I think the good news is that James hasn't given up on the Lakers just yet.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
This is the big call, and we've got an all-star cast to give you all their tips. First up, let's have a look at the Warriors travelling to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Carlos, can the Warriors actually snag a road win against the Trae and the Hawks with their new coach?
Great question. They have been a terrible road team most of the season, but I'm telling you, they're turning the corner. They're playing their best basketball right now when their best basketball is needed. I think the Warriors get it done on the road in Atlanta. I'm not sold on Atlanta. I know they got a new coach over there. They're kind of, figuring their things out over there. The Warriors, however, have been steamrolling and playing championship-style basketball. Klay Thompson's been on fire. Obviously, Steph is back in rare form. And Draymond Green's doing a great job of anchoring their defense. I got the Warriors winning this one.
Who's your pick, Jack?
48%, Dicko. This is the magic number. That's what the Warriors shot the 3 ball at against Phoenix earlier this week. If they can keep doing that, they're going to keep winning games. So I'm with Golden State.
This is the classic, whoa, hang on a second, what are we doing? They can't win on the road. Why are we yelling about the Warriors? I'll tell you why. Because Jack just nailed it. They're actually in a little bit of form at the moment. I love the Warriors in this one. If you want a bit of a, same game multi look at this too, I'd lean on Klay here. He just went off for 33, massive 8 out of 14 from downtown. Give him ye 25 plus points from Klay in this one, 4 plus 3s. I'll get 4 plus 3s from Steph as well as 30 plus from Steph. Warriors win. I love this. This is Warriors West, aka the Warriors, versus the Warriors East, as the Hawks tried to style themselves just recently. Didn't work out great, but Warriors will win this one.
All right, Jack, you've been sticking with the Lakers, unlike our man James, who's been potting them the whole way through. But can they keep the dream alive and down the Mavs at home on Saturday?
Yeah, I think they can, Dicko. This is a good time to get the Mavs right now. They're slipping badly, and I've been Peter positive on the Lakers, and I think it's working, unlike Negative Nelly over here. I think they are playing some good basketball. AD's having double-double games week in, week out now, game in, game out. D'Angelo Russell's in great form. I'm with the Lakers, James. They're flying.
That's right. I mean, AD just keeps basically putting up 35 and 10s. He's got the most in the NBA this season. The dude barely plays and he's got the most. That's incredible. I could go with the Lakers win here. I think we see another massive AD game. 30 plus points, 12 plus rebounds. Kyrie for the Mavs, if he's out there, give me 25 plus points, 3 plus 3s, but the Lakers win.
All right, Peter positive and James with the Lakers. Who are you with, Carlos?
I agree. I think the Lakers are playing their best basketball right now. I know LeBron's not there, but AD has stepped in majorly and been dynamic, has been dominant. They crept into that 10th spot, so they're in the playing game right now if the playoffs are today. So I like how Beasley's playing. I also think people have forgot about D'Angelo Russell and how much he helps that team in the backcourt. What a great upgrade at the point guard spot there. So I like the way the Lakers are playing. I got them beating the Mavs as well. I mean, I love Luka and I love Kyrie. I just think this particular game goes to the Lakers.
All right, and finally, Carlos, can the Celtics turn around their form on the road against a wonky donkey in the Jazz?
They better. Listen, they are struggling. You feel me? They got to get their stuff together before the playoffs get here. It's around the corner. They've kind of hit a lull. They've been so season spending so much energy at the top of the Eastern Conference. They took a dive, and right now this is a great opportunity for them to play against a Utah Jazz team that's going to play hard. You know, obviously they got an all-star in Markkanen, and they got some other good pieces around him. But the Boston Celtics got to use this game to get back on track.
Are you with Jack?
Yeah, I'm the same. When Boston win, it's on the back of scoring big, right? And I just don't think that Utah are going to have the ability to stop Boston from putting a big number on the board, James. So I'm with the Celtics.
Utah's in the tank. I'm sorry to say it, Carlos, your beloved Utah Jazz. They've pulled the pin. They've realised the smart thing to do is to lose from here on out. This will be an absolute shellacking on the behalf of the Boston Celtics. Of course, we would have thought that when Boston played Houston earlier this week, and the shoe was on the other foot there as they actually came up short. But I love Boston in this game, and you've got to go look at the wings. Like, there's nobody on this Utah Jazz team that can slow down Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. So give me 30-plus points for Tatum, 30-plus points for Brown. Boston win. Off you go.
All right, that was the big call, and the highlight of my week is back. It's great to have you on, Carlos, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Great to be back, guys.
Jack, outstanding work from you once again. James, we'll keep an eye on those multis across the weekend. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe below and follow us on socials, and we'll see you again next week.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.